Oh, grüß Gott. This video is called Effed Up German Verbs. So it's going to be all about verbs in German because there's so many little things, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. So it's actually fairly simple, but when you first start learning the language, especially as an English speaker, you're like, what the hell is going on here? So I'm going to just demystify it for you real quick. The first one is called the V2 rule. So this is very simple. The verb is the second place in the sentence. Just like staple that into your brain, right? So like der Mann is one, sieht das Kind. The man sees the kid, right? So the verb is the second part of the sentence. Obviously, this is one part. So I'll give you another example. I'll give you a better. Ich habe das. That's easier, right? I have that. But you could also say, das habe ich. That I have. The only thing that matters is that the verb is the second place in the sentence. So another example. Ich mache das am Morgen. I don't know if it's supposed to be capital or not. You don't really care. You're probably learning German to speak it anyway, right? So, ich mache das am Morgen. You could also say, das mache ich am Morgen. I do that in the morning. But you could also say, am Morgen mache ich das. But you could never say, ich am Morgen mache das. I, in the morning, do that. I also wouldn't really say that in English, but you could never say, ich am Morgen das mache. Nein, das geht nicht. That doesn't work. So that's the first thing, the V2 rule. Very easy. The verb is the second place in the sentence. It gets a little bit more trickier as there's more complex sentences. For example, let me just show you like the bike. Das Fahrrad, das ich fahre, right? Because this now comes at the end. If you do like a that or who, it kicks the verb to the end. So I don't even know why I'm bringing that up right now because it's a little overcomplicated, but it's like das Mädchen das Deutsch lernt. The girl who German learns. So if there's like a that or a who, like that, the girl who German learns, that's how you say it. The girl who German learns. That's just all you need to know. Or the bike that I drive. So that's, just keep that in mind. I don't know why I brought that up right now. Now, questions. Let's do this with a pen. Questions. Die Fragen. Questions. Yeah, how do we ask the questions in German? So you go like this. It's actually a lot easier than English or French. It's just simply verb first, right? So you've probably heard this before. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Do you formal speak German? Right? So it's actually just speak you German? Speak you German? Another good one is, this is the same in English, but bist du Deutscher? Are you German? Are you German? Bist du Deutscher? So questions, it starts with it. So let's give you one more example. Hast du das Buch? Hast du das Buch? Have you that book? So questions, just the verb starts. That's really easy. We are flying through this. So we learned V2. We learned questions. Next one, separable. So some verbs, and you're going to get better at this. The most common are basically some verbs separate. Separable verbs. I didn't learn this for a while at first, and I was super confused. But an example is anfangen, to begin, and einkaufen, to shop, like groceries. These two are like the most common. Anfangen, right? Ich fange an, Deutsch zu lernen. It gets separable. Ich kaufe jetzt ein. I shop now. Shop, I guess. But you get it, right? So there's certain things where there's like and you'll get better at this, right? Because like you can just see when you've learned a little bit of German, like, oh, okay, like an is like a preposition, ein is a preposition, and some of them are separable. And so if it's separable, it goes to the end of like the sentence or that like clause of the sentence. So that's the second thing. Now, there are some like, I don't even know what these are called. Let's get a new board. But things like, and, or, because I forget what these are called, because these things, some of them kick the verb to the end of the sentence, some don't. But if you have like und, which is and, nothing happens. So it's like, ich spiele Basketball und ich lerne Deutsch. Or you could say, ich lerne, this is a better example, Deutsch and this means I play basketball and I learn German. Ich lerne Deutsch und ich trinke Bier. Right? So, but if you were going to say, I learn German because I drink beer, something crazy would happen. Ich lerne Deutsch, weil ich Bier trinke. So certain like connector verbs, conjunctions or whatever it's called, kick the verb to the end of the sentence. These are the ones kick to the end. These kick to the end. It's bis until like you'll just memorize these. And it's not even like important that you memorize them, just have an awareness. So when you're seeing a sentence and there's a verb at the end, be like, oh, okay, because there's a bis. Like während, which is like during. Als, which is like when, like past. Als ich ein Kind gewesen bin, as I was a kid. Da, since, weil, because. Ob, if, wenn, when, repeating. Obwohl, although, das, that. And so these kick the verb to the end, right? Super annoying, but what are you going to do? You just learn it. Let me move myself up here. So an example of this would be something like, ich bin froh, dass du hier bist. Dass du da bist. Ich bin froh, dass du da bist. I am happy that you here are. Right? So certain, I don't even know if these are prepositions. These words basically, these connector words kick the second verb to the end of the sentence. That's all you need to know. But if it was to say, ich bin froh und du bist da. Right? I am happy and you are there. So some of them like und, oder, aber, these small ones, or, but they don't kick anything. What else we got? Oh, now this one's kind of hard too, but you just learn it and then it's not hard. Right? That's how it works. So müssen, können, sollen, möchte, dürfen. So this is like to must, you know what I mean? To can, to should. You get what I'm saying, right? Would like, dürfen, like may, to be allowed. And then there's also wollen, which is to want. So if you ever say these are kickers too. Let's give them a kick. Right? They kick the soccer ball to the end of the sentence. So ich muss morgen meine Hausaufgabe machen. I must tomorrow my homework do. Right? Ich kann kein Spanisch Sprechen. Sprechen. I can no Spanish speak, right? So that's the way. Basically, if you ever use one of these like helper verbs, which is like, these words that are used with two verbs, the second verb gets kicked to the end of the sentence. Pretty straightforward, right? So that's good. That's the high level. Let's recap what we learned. So the very first thing, V2 rule, right? So verb must be in the second part of the sentence, right? Ich mache das am Morgen. I do that in the morning. Das mache ich am Morgen. Morgen. That do I in the morning. Am Morgen mache ich das. In the morning, I that. Das Fahrrad, das ich fahre. If it's ever like the bike that I drive, the second verb gets kicked to the end of the sentence, right? Das Mädchen, das Deutsch lernt. The girl who German learns. Question, verb first. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprichst du Deutsch? Do you speak German? Bist du Deutscher? Are you German? Hast du das Buch? Several verbs, some prepositions like an und ein, they often go to the end, right? So ich fange an, Deutsch zu lernen. Ich kaufe jetzt ein. And this is like, it ends here and not here because this is like a new clause, like with a new verb. Certain connector words, these ones, kick the verb to the end of the sentence. Ich bin froh, dass du da bist. The verb goes to the end of the sentence. Ich bin froh und du bist da doesn't kick. So und, oder, aber, they all stay the same. Those are really easy to use. I want to learn German, but it's very hard, right? We're going to end this video pretty much now. Ich will Deutsch lernen, aber es ist sehr schwer. I want German to learn, but es wird Deutsch, but it is very hard. And then finish. Müssen, können, sollen, machen, möchten, dürfen, wollen. These helper verbs all kick it to the end as well. So that's like the 80-20. You just got the 80-20 of the messed up German verbs. Now, what do you do next? You want to now just consume German all day, and you will notice the pattern. You have base level awareness. Now, your only job is to now consume the language so that your brain can turn on its supercomputer pattern recognition tools. Have a lot of fun and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.